time he said, what a fool that I was, man. The 10 disciples telling that he's alive, and I said, I will not believe. What reason did they have to lie? All the 10, he disbelieved them all. Why? Because they were telling that he was alive. Now you know this crucifixion. It has become a joke by God. It has become a joke. You know, the way they have been trying to tell us about what a thing it was, it is not so serious as people have been preaching all along. In the Philippines, in the footsteps of Jesus, you'll find in this book of mine, page 85. Don't open it now. Don't open it now. Page 85, you'll find an article from Dar es Salaam of the Sunday News. You'll find there, Jesus' footsteps. And you find in there that this crucifixion, that 7 persons, let me read it to you. Let me read it to you. It says here, on Good Friday, at least 7 cases of crucifixion were reported in the local press. But the word crucifixion is in inverted commas. 6 times in this article, the word crucifixion occur, and every time in inverted commas. You know what that means? It means they were not crucifixions. It means the so-called. You see, when it is in inverted commas, this is whenever people talk about crucifixion, that it was not really crucifixion. In inverted commas. Instead of writing every time the so-called crucifixion, the newspaper loses its value. So they don't want to tell you really, but they put it in inverted commas. This reporter, Reg Grattan, you know, he had the brains. He knew what he was doing. 6 times, every time, the word crucifixion is in inverted commas, meaning it was not really the crucifixion. Listen. On Good Friday, at least 7 cases of crucifixion were reported in the local press. One of these was Luciana Reyes, a 23-year-old factory worker and the first woman known to have performed the ritual. First woman got crucified. But she wasn't crucified because she was alive. She lived. She's still living. You see? So what do you call that? These Christians, this attorney from Benoni, a born-again Christian, and this guy Josh McDowell, they wrote a book. And in that they are asking me the question. They haven't got a word in their language for a person going on the cross and going through the ordeal and not dying. Would you say he was crucified when 20 years later somebody shot him, or 20 years later he was hanged, or 5 years later a motor car knocked him down? What was his end? Crucified? No. What happened on the cross? There is no word in the English language. For that they're making a mockery of me. I said, I'll supply you the word. You know, these educated fools, I tell you, fools. They haven't got a word in their own language to tell us what happened. A man is taken to the gallows. The noose is put around his neck. The rope is pulled. But before the man expires, they cut the rope. Was the man hanged? What? One word. Give me one word in your language. There isn't. You haven't got a word in your language to describe that. Is that my fault? I said, what it is not crucifixion in inverted commas, it is crucifixion. These are fictions taking place. These are fairy tales. Zan. So, a woman is doing that. She did it. First woman to do that. The crucifixion, some shown live on television, they show them alive on television, have now become the climax of Easter week in the Philippines. In some cases, they attract thousands of visitors to provincial towns where the atmosphere is a blend of carnival and deep mourning. Suggestion for our Christian brethren here. What about enacting something here in Ceres or somewhere around here in Bontiver? Look, you'll get thousands of people coming along to see the fun. They're doing it in the Philippines. They're getting themselves hung on the cross. Nailed. And they're not dying. It's because they're doing it for kicks. You know, kicks, for enjoyment, for pleasure. One man fainted. After being removed from the cross, he had to be carried to a waiting bus. Another was up and smoking a cigarette as soon as his hands were bandaged. These are the crucified people. Would you call them crucified or crucifixed? They're not crucified, crucifixed. And what's taking place is crucifixion. F-I-C-T-I-O-N, fiction, not F-I-X-I-O-N. It's not crucifixion, it is crucifixion, F-I-C-T-I-O-N. It's a fictions taking place. And they're doing the real thing, not like what they do in films. They just try and show you as if the man is getting, you know, like these films you see, Jesus of Nazareth, the Day of Triumph, King of Kings. They show the man, you know, going through the ordeal. This all acting, play acting. This is no play acting. They will go through the real thing. But this is crucifixions. There are fictions. There are not crucifixions. One of them, Mario Bactus, a 33-year-old vendor, had gone through the ritual for the 5th time. He was crucified 5 times already. For the 5th time, every year he's going through the process. And like the Bacalor penitents, he promised to return next year. He said he had vowed to perform the crucifixions for 10 years after his wife recovered from cancer. 10 years, he's going to do it 10 times. Every year he gets crucified. He's getting crucified? Look, he is getting crucifixed. And these are crucifixions. Fictions. You know, fable, fiction. These are fictions taking place. You don't have to go all the way to the Philippines, too far. In Natal, yeah, you'll see it on page 36 and 56 of the book I gave you. Pictures of a man in Natal in Newcastle, crucified man hung on the cross. And he did something more than the Filipinos do. He put a spike through his thigh also to show that the man has mind over matter. He's proving that, the mind, what it can bear. And he's a barman. Vandenberg and Afrikaner. He's done it. Getting crucified on the cross. And then he's brought down. And a few days later, he's back to work. Would you say he was crucified? What would you call that? The newspaper, the crucified man hung on cross. Was he crucified? Crucified means to kill. The man is alive. One word. I say he was being crucifixed. And these are crucifixions. This is not F-I-X-I-O-N. You must call them fictions. These are crucifixions. They're playing with the game. And now the Christians, they give you a choice. Ooh, they give you a choice. This born again, that spirit is coming into them. You'll find that this man here of the Campus Crusade, he publishes a book, The Resurrection Factor. In that book, on page 47, he shows us Jesus Christ on the cross. After 1,000 hours of actual study on the crucifixion, he comes along with this picture. You got the book? If you haven't, when you go out, you must get that book. It's absolutely free. You owe it to yourself. You must have it. His Lord and Savior, he put him up like a frog. Look, you'll see it there. Page 47, you'll see it. He's like a frog on the cross. Actually like a frog. So I'm asking now, is this froggy fiction as illustrated here? Like a frog. I didn't do it. This is the Campus Crusade publication, page 47. Like a frog. You'll see it there on page 47. If you have the book, open it and see. Page 47. So you must take it when you go out. Like a frog. Page 47. Huh? Oh, 87, I'm sorry. This is 47 of his book. His book. In his book, page 47. I'm sorry, yes. Right. Froggy fiction as in page 87. Right. Then you see the Jehovah's Witnesses, they getting the cross stuck in the throat. The Jehovah's Witnesses. So they say, no, the Lord was stakified. He was put on a stake, a totem pole. You'll find that on page 74. He's put on a stake like that. Not like this, like that. See that, page 74. So now that is stakey fiction. Look, they're giving you a choice. You can take your choice now. What? Froggy fiction or stakey fiction or crucifixion on page 33. It will show you that he was not nailed. Page 33, you see. What a choice. What a choice. The Christians are giving you now. Take your choice. Either your Lord was froggy fixed, or whether he was stakey fixed, or whether he was crucifixed. What? A choice. They're giving you numerous choices. See for yourself. We didn't do it. We are not theorizing. We don't say what happened, what not. I say, look, this is what you're telling us. Like a frog, like a stake, or like a cross. What did he do? What happened? Now, I will give you a quick summary. I give you a quick summary. Number one, that this crucifixion is a fiction, that it didn't happen. The way the Christians claim, those things didn't happen. Number one, he was reluctant to die. He didn't want to die. He didn't come prepared to come for any type of sacrifice. Luke chapter 22, verse 36, you'll find he's preparing for a fight. And had he come to die, there was no need for him to tell his disciples to go and arm themselves. Number two,
he